second topic that we'd like to talk, I would like to talk about certainly, what we will call the new science and technology race heating up. Um, Perhaps rather, the exponential curve has reached such an arc of increase that it is now going to be just about earth shattering. Like this is a huge topic. Just quickly, in the next 5 years, according to the finest experts, and even the most conservative experts, not people who do blogs and try to make headlines. I'm talking about my former colleagues in the National Intelligence Council and the U.S. intelligence establishment, assess that within the next 5 years, artificial intelligence, which is the first subject I want to talk about, will be performing most tasks that humans now do and will be doing it better and more efficiently than humans. Within the next 5 years, up to 50% of all current jobs on Earth will be replaceable by AI in the next 5 years. That I'm not saying that there will be 50% unemployment 5 years from now globally, but potentially AI can perform these tasks more efficiently than humans. That is a shocking issue and raises the question about who will be master, AI or humans. And that's not a facetiously phrased question. Even the profoundly
I
national.
think it'll be people who own AI companies who will be masters.
Well, absolutely. And I will get to that. Even the National Intelligence Council, which is very conservative, usually saying, well, there's always on the one hand, on the other, that says, and I'm going to quote them in their assessment of artificial intelligence impact in the next 5 years, says, uh, artificial intelligence may pose existential threats that could damage life on a global scale and that require the development of resilient strategies to survive as a society, as functioning governments, as a species. This is astounding. It's science fiction like, but it is true. For the first time in 10,000 years of civilization, humanity now faces an entity that will disrupt us, may control us, and even threatens our existence. Even if it does not come to control humanity, and I'm an optimist without any qualifications on that point, it could well disrupt societies and traditional ways of life very, very soon, within the next 5 to 10 years. 18% of AI experts who've been polled by the Pew Research Center are excited at the near term, as in the next 5-year prospects, but 42% are uncertain whether to be excited or concerned. They are both simultaneously. And 37% are far more concerned about the impact, foreseeable and unforeseeable, of artificial intelligence than they are optimistic. Numerous studies estimate that AI will eliminate the need for from anywhere from 7% to 47% of all jobs in the coming years. Now, as Atul alluded to, AI is also going to starting right now. It is happening now. Concentrate wealth in the few corporations and countries in the world that have the financial and technical resources to develop and exploit AI. There are very few. In the US, there's Meta, Google, Microsoft, and 2 or 3 others. In China, there's Tencent, Alibaba, Baidu, and several others. And wealth will be concentrated, developments will be concentrated, and power will be concentrated in those countries, and in the only countries, companies, and in the only countries that can finance and sustain research and development of AI. And there are two. Unsurprisingly, it's the United States and China. And the assessments are that of the $16 trillion that AI will add to the global economy in the next 5 years, 70% of that will be captured by the United States and China. So the rich will get richer, the poor will get children, and AI will change the world. It is shocking. That's the first thing. The second is of technological changes in the coming year. The space race will not just heat up, but will start to transform life on Earth. There's Elon Musk and SpaceX, his company, are developing what's called the Starship. Let me turn off my phone. Sorry. It's 122 meters tall. There have been 6 test flights of it to date. In the coming year, there are scheduled to be 25. In succeeding years, from 100 to 400 per year. It can carry 100 people to Mars. It's designed to do that. It can
By the
carry.
way, Glenn, NASA's Perseverance rover found possible evidence of microbial life on Mars. And maybe Elon can just go and live there.
He would like to. I would like to. It can carry at present already 100 tons to orbit. It will increase to 200 tons per orbit. That's sort of a meaningless figure. However, what will happen as a result of this? The launch cost for a Starship when it is operational, which should happen within the next 24 months, is my guess, will be as low as $2 million per launch. It's 3 times as powerful as the Saturn V. To launch one Saturn V cost $1.9 billion. To launch the next most efficient rocket on Earth, the current one now, the leader, is the Falcon 9, also by SpaceX and Elon Musk, costs $59 million per launch. Ariane 6, Europe's coming online most sophisticated rocket, costs $85 million, already 50% more expensive than Falcon 9, uncompetitive, but 42 times more expensive than the Starship will be. Blue Origin, owned by Jeff Bezos, has its own rocket called the New Glenn, named after John Glenn, the astronaut. It will come online this year. It will launch in the next 2 weeks. It can launch 65 tons to orbit for a cost a fraction of that of any other rocket now. But China has similar rockets in development, although they are behind. By 2025, the space industry will generate $1 trillion worth of investment and earnings. It's growing about 9% per annum, the space industry. Global economy will grow happily this year, about 3%. By 2035, in 10 years, the amount space will generate will have doubled. That's about a 9% growth rate per year. Space has already been militarized and will be so rapidly now with this development. Soon there will be several landings on the moon of satellites and rovers. This year, the United States is scheduled to land on the moon permanently, to establish a permanent presence in 2027 or 2028. China in 2029. It's uncertain who will actually get there first, but both will get there within the next 5 years. And a Mars landing is likely within the next 10 to 15 years, which will establish not just a visit, but also a permanent presence. So the world is radically changing, not just in terms of exploration and flags on distant planets, but economically, militarily, and that will have followed effects here on Earth. And the last thing I'll talk about, because we're going too slowly, I'm sorry, is increasingly rapid changes in renewable energy and its effects upon the energy world and therefore on global economies, which also has huge political ramifications. Over the next 3 years, the electricity consumption added each year globally, demand and therefore consumption, is roughly equivalent to that of the United Kingdom and Germany's annual consumption of electricity combined. Demand outstrips supply, and the supply is being rapidly addressed, although not keeping up with demand, largely by China. China dominates the solar panel industry. China is coming to dominate the electric vehicle industry globally. There will be
batteries
huge
as
shakeup.
well. They're very good at batteries.
Sorry?
Batteries.
Thank you. Batteries is the next point. All
Storage
of
of
the
energy.
renewable energy technologies, China has largely the lead in. Although under President Biden, there were significant steps taken to rectify some of these gaps or lags. but they haven't come online. It takes years to build a factory and to develop an industry, and the U.S. is sort of in the middle of its response if Donald Trump continues that, and he may not. Global electric vehicles have reached the point where they will rapidly come to be the dominant means of personal transportation, destroying relatively quickly the internal combustion engine's century of dominance. EV sales are projected to grow 30% year on year in 2025 and the years after that. They now represent almost 17% of all global light vehicle, that means not truck, sales. And they're expected to reach 90 million units soon. So all of this, I'll skip some of the other facts, you understand the point, is revolutionizing the global demands for energy, the provision of it, the replacement of fossil fuels, the shift in technologies, the continued increase in influence and significance and lead in many areas by China. And these are all, on the whole, as far as the global warming and environment are concerned, issues, positive changes. But they are revolutionizing, literally, life on Earth. The third subject, we can go from sort of happy news to continued chaos, and I'll happily turn over the disaster discussion, the turbulent Middle East, to Atul.
Join the conversation at Fair Observer and subscribe to our YouTube channel.